What are my favorite Nancy Reagan outfits? Well, before we start, I should say that one of the reasons I do the drawing videos is because, at least in America, women's clothing is so much more expressive than men's. You have outfits that are varied in ways that, whether it's color or style or, oh, this is a pantsuit, this is a dress, it's they're all over the place, and I mean that in a good way. And I have said before, I am very envious of the fact that women just have so many more options than men. Um, I'm not going to go in like any kind of order of top five or anything, but these are certainly among my favorites. Like all of these would be in a top 10 if I even could get all of them together. The first one I would think of is that leopard print dress that she had, which is kind of, it's a little bit above the knee. It's kind of like it's shorter than most of the stuff I've seen her wear. Because with Nancy, her style tended to be, um, if she wore like a dress or a skirt, it was usually one that went to the like the calves, like certainly below the knee, and more covering up most of her legs. So the leopard dress is shorter than a lot of the other stuff she would normally wear. I just like leopard print in general. It's a design I really have grown more and more favorable of over the past few years, just because I have so many different things where I like that style. And she had a, the yellow version of it, which is also what I tend to like as well. Because sometimes with leopard print, they make it, like brown or dark brown, or just it depends on what kind of shading they want to use for the background. So it was nice, and it had these buttons on the side. It kind of reminds me a little bit of my coat, which also has like these large black buttons that you have the option to use to like close it up. Not that I normally ever do, but just that's what it reminds me a little bit of. And she had these black pumps that they went along well with the buttons. They were a nice pairing, if you will. This isn't really an outfit. It's just she had this big fur coat that I um, like. It's a very simple design, but it also has like pretty detailed elements to it, right? Where it has the the big button right in that chest part, and then the straight lines going down, as well as the kind of rugged, large sleeves. And then she wore them with some dark brown gloves that matched with the uh, temperature. I have a lot of people that like to go on my stuff and go, why are you wearing gloves? So it's always nice to see somebody else wearing them. And I like that design because, again, it's not anything too fancy, but fancy Nancy, but it's also something that I really like it for its simplicity. That would be one of the easiest outfits to draw her in, truthfully, just because it's just so all encompassing of her, and I don't really have to memorize, oh, this pattern here. It's a very simple design that I'm very much a fan of. Now, this outfit was the one that inspired the drawing I had of her, I believe, in my first Nancy drawings video. It might have been the second one. But it's when she went to the retreat with Howard Baker, who, I don't know if he was the Senate Majority Leader at that point, but he's one of the top Republicans in the Senate. And man, I love that. It might be a dress, it might be just a suit with like a top, but I love the collar, how it kind of like ruffles and sort of sticks out on both sides and has those red stripes, and then you have the blazer and the skirt, that match, and then have kind of like a checkered look, right? All the red and the white stripes. It's like the inversion of what the shirt is. It's so nice looking. And then she had these pumps that were like white, but then they had the black tips, which kind of has like this Oxford look to it. Of course, the red bag to also complement it. It's a really good look. And that's why it makes one of my favorite looks for her, because it's such a like, what's the way of describing it? It's I like when things match and they have like a pattern to them, and that's what the coat and the skirt have. But I also just like how non-revealing it is. Like it looks like a casual outfit that someone would wear just in an office. You know, it's not a thing that you'd have to be this very, you know, wealthy first lady to even think of putting on. It's a very nice design. And I hope that when I continue the, you know, Nancy Reagan drawing series, we can have some more attempts at getting it down, because I didn't have the patterns simply as not to, you know, just have it take longer than I would prefer. But it's really good. And also, I should kind of like get a little tangent here. So notice how her outfit stands out so much, very visually distinct. And then here we go with the men, right? All have the little black suit on with the same uniform shoes. You know, I don't know. It's just a little side note. It's kind of like just proving my point without me even having to say it. But I still felt like just kind of throwing it out there. This one is from one of her official White House portraits. I don't know if it's in the Red Room, but it's another one of her outfits I really enjoy. It's got the long, kind of like A-shaped red skirt and the sort of light pink blouse with the, you know, long sleeves that are also kind of ruffled, right? The ruffling around the collar and then on the sleeve. It's a, you know, this design reminds me of almost something from the Victorian era. At least from the way that the top looks, like the bodice, but then when you get to the skirt part, it's a lot more, you know, modernized. And then she had the red heels that are, you know, matching with the skirt, which is also a nice touch. And just it's up there. Like I try when I draw her usually to have her wearing red, because red was her signature color. As I said in one of my videos, red used to be my signature color before I got taken over by another one. But it is, you're going to notice the pattern where like a lot of the stuff that I like her in tends to be red, because it goes with her so much. It's the color of the Republicans, and it was Nancy's color, most certainly. She embodied it more than probably any other first lady. Like when I think of the color red, she is one of the first people that I visualize wearing it. It is signature to her. And now we get to what might be my favorite outfit for her out of any of them. And I know I just got through talking about how much I liked red, so this makes me kind of look a little silly or hypocritical. I love the white and black dress that Nancy wore during I believe it was a Kennedy fundraiser. As you can see, you have Ted Kennedy and, you know, Jackie and Ethel, and then Caroline in the corner. This outfit, the reason I like it so much, right? You have the black pumps, and then, you know, the black ends of the sleeves, as well as like the around the collar and the part in the middle, and they, you know, it all tracks and matches. Because it's white, someone could say it has like a plain look to it. I don't think so. I really like the black and red polka dots. As far as I can tell, we hardly ever see any spouses or people in Washington ever wear polka dots. I'm trying to think of what appeals so much to me about it. I guess I like how modest it is. Like it has a semi-intricate design with the, you know, the color of the buttons, but it's not overbearing. And it's one of those things where you probably wouldn't even notice it if you saw it from far away. It is a really appealing design to me. Like it's modest. It is distinct without like being kind of extravagant. Like the earlier dress talked about, the one that has the Victorian like sleeves, and, you know, that's the type of thing where you could tell somebody went to some formal event. This looks like she could just casually be walking around. I'm a little, you know, white dress on, you know, just it's so modest, and I don't want to call it plain, but it's down to earth. It looks like something that, again, I would throw on, or somebody else would throw on, just casually going somewhere instead of to some formal event or to some big fundraiser. It is a very nice looking gown, and it probably, I hesitate, it might be my favorite Nancy look. I sure wish we could get some more pictures of her with that on. I know they exist, just like straight, just the type of like portrait type pictures where, oh, here's this person, this event, and they smile directly in the camera. I wish we could have that with her wearing this. It's a very nice attire. It would be one of my default appearances for her to appear in, if when I draw her, if I could get more reference shots of it. Very beautiful dress. So yeah, these are my favorite Nancy Reagan outfits. She had an excellent sense of style. I will forever be jealous that men don't have anywhere near the options, at least that without it being considered taboo. But yeah, this is just me gushing over some of the stuff she used to wear. It was pretty nice looking.